Hey everybody, I'm Bryce with Harbor Golf Sim. We build custom golf simulators for clients in Western Washington, of Washington State, not DC. I'm going to walk you through a build we did here, kind of show you everything we put in it, show you everything that we can do. We can build anything from as small as a garage simulator that you want to take up an RV bay with and just put up an enclosure with the cloth sides, or we can do a full build out where we build out everything and custom do everything. So I'm going to walk you through this one we did. I'll start at the screen and move this way. So this is a Carl's Place custom size screen. This room is 15 feet wide, but the client wanted us to bring it in so it looked like a more immersive experience. So I think this screen ended up being about like 14 by 9.5. So all this was framed out. So this room used to just be one big square, and then we framed this down. He didn't want any sort of like the temporary enclosures coming out. He wanted it to look more like a commercial simulator. So we framed it all out to the screen size. We built all this trim around the screen. So these screens come with a white screen, and then they're bordered all in Velcro, so you can, if you're doing it a different way, you can Velcro your sides to it. But this customer didn't want it, so we built him trim all the way around it and wrapped it in basically like a faux black leather to hide all that black Velcro. Then on the walls, this was built out with basically some of that foam insulation board, so it could take hits and not bounce off real hard. And then this is just your standard commercial carpet tile over the top that's glued onto it. Coming back here, so this is actually a Sig Pro Softy mat, and they come over 2 inches thick. So we had to build up this whole floor. This is on concrete. We built up the whole floor to match the height of the mat, basically on the concrete with the moisture barrier. And then everything else around this mat is built up with 2x4s laying down, and then plywood over the top for the whole thing to match the height. He wanted to be able to putt, so we put this strip in here with the short, so the balls would just roll seamlessly off the mat to the screen. And then he wanted like a rough, grass rough look around the rest of the room. So that's what we did on the floor. Window coverings. So obviously with simulators, you want to keep it as dark as possible. These are blackout blinds that were custom ordered for the window sizes, because they're pretty big windows and they let in a lot of light when they're not down. Over here, so our original build, we didn't have this built in. We just had his computer sitting over here, and he didn't really like it. So we decided to recess this into the wall and build everything into the wall. So that way, if he's got left-handed players over here, they're not concerned about hitting the computer or the screen. He had lefties in here before without it being recessed, and it wasn't an issue. But when people get inside golf simulators, it usually takes them a little bit to get comfortable with it, because everything feels kind of restricted. But obviously, if you have a room of 15 feet wide, you can easily do left and right-handed. Another thing he changed, he originally had a Bushnell Launch Pro in here, and so it's a unit that sits on the floor, and he has a kid that's left-handed, so he was constantly having to move the unit back and forth, and he didn't like that after a while. So we upgraded him to Pro TVX. Here at Harbor Golf Sim, we are actually partnered with Pro TVX. They're a great little up-and-coming company. That unit right there is $6,500. So that thing gives you a lot of options for the price. It gives you all the club and ball data you would ever want. You don't have to put any stickers on your clubs. You don't have to use any sort of special marked balls. So you literally can play, you can take any ball in here, you can test every kind of ball you would ever want to play, and that thing will read it. One thing about it I have noticed, with balls that have like really small logos on them, it's always better to just, when you're hitting, to just place the logo up so it's looking at the camera before you launch it. It still will read them most of the time. Every once in a while you might get a misread if you don't have the label up with those small label balls. So if you want to look over here, this is the software that comes with the Pro T. It's super customizable. You can move all this stuff around to see basically what you want to see. It has a really cool impact camera where you can literally watch your swing and watch on the exactly where you're hitting the ball on the face. And then up here you can just see the dot if you don't want to look at the video. Has its own driving range. And then obviously every metric you would want: dynamic loft, launch angle, backspin. It reads everything. These are all the things down here that it reads for club and ball. This one's just basically like would be an overhead view of this driving range shot. It would just show you your curvature. So yeah, these guys at Pro T, they're constantly updating the software. Really cool. The best part about it, there's no subscription fee. So you don't, like with some of the other products, you have to sign up for a year-long subscription to be able to access things like GS Pro if you want to use that software. This one, when you pay for the unit, you get the software for free for life, and it also connects to GS Pro without any sort of subscription fee. So that's a great feature. Down here, this is the gaming computer. This is the NZXT PL770 edition. So this has a 470 Ti graphics card in it. Honestly, it's probably a little bit of overkill for if you're just running golf simulator stuff, but he wanted to be able to watch some movies and stuff in here too. So he got a pretty good graphics card. I mean, it's actually kind of middle of the road, actually, if we're being honest, but does plenty for golf simulator. Up here, so this is the projector he went with. This is a BenQ LU95ST. It's a really nice projector. It's a laser projector, and it's got 5,500 lumens, which in my opinion, when you're doing golf simulators, the highest lumens you can get is what you want. You know, it just gives you way more vibrant colors. And if you did happen to have maybe these windows open, have some buddies over, it's so much easier to see the screen when you have anything over, like, you know, 3,500 lumens, and this thing's at 5,500, so it's one of the brightest ones out there. It is a little expensive. I think it comes in around $3,200, maybe a little more. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but very nice projector. BenQ, in my opinion, makes the best projectors out there. They have lots of options. They have 4K options. They have some new projectors that actually, when you install them, it literally just reads the board of your screens and basically auto sets. So that takes away a lot of work. The other projectors, you have to literally come over here, figure out how far from the screen they got to be, shoot a laser up, and find the exact spot that you need to mount, which is a pain. And the new ones that autocorrect, you got to just get close, and then it'll basically adjust it to what your screen size is. So BenQ is doing some great things. They are also a partner with us at Harbor Golf Sim. You can find all their products on our website, and we can ship them directly to you. What else did we do in here? So there's a little sound bar up here and a subwoofer down there. He wanted some better sound, so turn on music, play the music play the golf simulator sound off the computer into that. Just gives them a bunch of options. He comes in here and watches movies with his kids, and it's good for all that. Up there also, there's a spotlight, so if you wanted even more vibrant screen, you can turn off these two can lights back here, and then it's just the spotlight shooting down at the hitting zone. So I tend to usually play with more lights on just because I like it better. A lot of people that you'll see play with them off and with just the spotlight, but like I said, when you have this BenQ with the 5,500 lumens, you don't really have to worry about it. It looks pretty much the same when it's on or off. Now, if you took these shades up and open these big windows, maybe a little bit of a different story, but I mean, I'll do it now. You can still you can still see that screen so clearly with those 5500 lumens. All right, so this is the garage that we built the simulator in for this gentleman. This is a 45-foot RV bay. We took about 15 feet on the end to build the simulator into it, so he's still got about 30 feet out here, which he's now using for a batting cage for his kids. So this is where we started building here at the back of the garage. He wanted some storage on top because he's obviously losing some storage with losing 15 feet of depth here. So he's got about 4 feet in height up there. Stores just a bunch of random garage stuff up there. And then this is the wall we built for the room, and we put the pads on it. It's actually just gym mat, and he wanted that there so when his kids are hitting in the batting cage, he's got protection from the drywall and from this computer kick out right here. So if we go up here, this is where the built-in computer's at now.